it'll be worthwhile summarizing what we've learned about the definition of validity, the concept of validity, and how we can go about using that to prove that an argument is invalid, and if not, we're going to have to assume it's valid. And I'm going to call this the counterexample method of proving invalidity. That is, we're providing an example that goes counter to the validity of the argument. And here's what you're supposed to do based on the definition of validity. You're supposed to try to imagine, well, first you have to imagine it, then you have to describe a possible situation where all the premises are true and the conclusion is false. And remember, your constraint when you're talking about a possible situation is you have to be able to describe the entire situation without making a contradiction. If you can do that, then you've shown that it's possible for the premises to be true and the conclusion is false. So in other words, another way of saying is that means if it is possible, then it's not impossible for the premises to be true and the conclusion is false. So it means the argument is not valid. And this is one way of proving or testing an argument for validity. We see that the problem with this method is that it relies on your not making a mistake in your imagination and you're being able to think clearly at any given time. So we're going to find yet a different way of proving invalidity. But we want to help us understand the concept of validity, we want to be able to try this a few times and try to find counterexamples to invalid arguments to understand what's going on. And once we have mastered that, we're going to move on to talking about the form of arguments, because that's another way and a more practical way of helping us decide if arguments are valid or invalid, which is to say, is the logic good in the deductive argument or not?